Hello, my name is Stephen Cross. I'm an architect in Langley, British Columbia at Cross Architecture. I started working at an architecture firm at 16 years old, which is 21 years ago now. So it's been a long endeavor. Our values relate a lot to quality and longevity in a sustainable manner. We also try to inspire with all of our buildings and align ourselves with like-minded clients. We exercise those values through many different methods. It really is site-dependent, time constraints and budget-dependent, but the overarching driver is that we have clients who are well aligned with a vision of quality and of an inspiring manner. So people who are looking for architecture that can be felt and not just seen. Yeah, the way X Architecture designs is unique in that we do a lot of research before we even start. So understanding the history of a place, a history of the clients that are going to be within that space, and then a projection of what the future could look like. And not just for that building, but for the surrounding neighborhood, the surrounding environment. And we do take in all of those aspects from the very beginning and right until the finished product. Part of what we do is plan for change at all times. The climate, the environment, any factors relating to the building need to be considered for the immediate future and much further beyond. So when considering the most sustainable way to do that would be to specify durable products that can last into that future and be adapted into that future. There's a level of simplicity that we look for as well, not to overcomplicate the designs so that they can be adaptable in the future if needed, as well as recycled if that does happen, and that we just create a very welcoming and versatile environment no matter the program. Our clients they are passionate about what they're building. It's not a fleeting endeavor to build in this day and age. So making it a lasting impression, choosing the finest quality of products, and thinking about the daily, the weekly, and monthly costs and carbon footprint associated with their life or office or whatever they're doing in the space is important to them. So we do that in primarily passive ways, passive manners of creating large, versatile spaces that have great cross ventilation, amazing natural light. Yeah, we try not to rely on intensive systems that require a lot of energy. I'm just trying to move through life in a very light way. Luckily, longboard is a very adaptable material that we can apply to a lot of different scenarios and surfaces primarily. So if we need something with a little bit more texture to provide an interest, there are options for creating smaller profiles on the exterior or interior. Having nature be able to come into one's residence or place of work is integral to that connection and well-being of the occupants. So having materials that can both be used on the outside and inside is really important for our design process. We have used it on numerous projects, but one in particular would be a residence in the Fraser Valley on a beautiful warm lake. And we did this unobstructed 10-meter cantilever that really invites the life of the lake and what the surrounding area into the house by providing a really safe and open space. What we needed, though, was a material that could merge the inside and out, because it's a glass house that has a lot of it would feel like it's exposed, but we've used a lot of Longboard products to make it feel very comfortable, merging the inside and outside so there's a seamless integration. You sometimes don't realize that you are outside or you're naturally inside, or walking to your bedroom, you're floating above the lake. It's a surreal experience. So lifespan is one of the most important pieces of a building and its sustainability. The word just sustain has a long duration attributed to it. That's something that we really do want to see in these buildings, that they last a long time and they can be enjoyed for a really long time. So there's an aspect too of low maintenance. That's something that really does contribute to it looking great for a really long time. Yeah, there's a shift in that we are moving towards a more passive route of sustainability. So it's not necessarily about how much roof there is for photovoltaics or the efficiency of the mechanical systems. It is really coming down to what the cross ventilation is within the house. How much insulation can you have at the edge of the building and within the window system, what that R value is. So I think there is a larger focus on those more passive elements of energy efficiency. Cost is a factor, but I think the perception of the investment up front versus the investment every month is really starting to affect people. Longboard is at the top of materiality and innovation, I would say. There's always something that is new with Longboard. I can say that after using the product and many different types of products over the last 15 years. It's been really wonderful to see that progression and innovation. It's the highest quality. I see the imitators gets substituted on our projects all the time, unfortunately. I think manufacturing long-lasting products and durable products is one of our highest priorities. As architects, we want to specify quality at all times for the immediate users and the users from 50 years from now. So it's something that we look for, and if those techniques change with the technology to make the products, that's something that can be very innovative, as well as just different material types. And then it can come down to style and preferences. All buildings require maintenance. It's just a matter of how much maintenance is required. And building a home that you plan to live in for the next 20 years, it's something you need to consider. And too often we get consumed with our daily lives and forget that, hey, this siding needs to be repainted, this needs to be upcapped, the roof needs to be done, and not having to worry about that is a huge factor in specifying quality materials that do not require a lot of maintenance. I drive by these products all the time and see these bright colors that have faded to pastels at this point. It's something that is unfortunate, and it's a choice that was made but needs to continually be updated and maintained. And like I said, after 15 years of using Longboard, we have not had to replace or redo anything on these buildings. So it's been a great testament to that longevity. That is a conversation that we have at the very beginning of the intent of the build. So is this going to be a flip? Is this going to be somewhere where you can call home for the next 50 years or multiple generations? Or is this an office building that is going to be fruitful and be very inspiring for the next 30 years? What is that duration that our clients are looking for, and thus what quality should be accounted for? Part of what we design is bringing the outside inside. And some of that is your perception when you're inside, having the same surfaces carry through, and that durability of being exposed to the elements and being cozy within is something that we always try to integrate here. It's been a great opportunity to use some of the products that were not intended for interiors to be brought inside. One of my favorites was doing the inside of a washroom in 4-inch V-groove paneled in white and black. It was very exciting to have this very durable surface, continuous. It really gave a kind of a surfer shack vibe, which we couldn't have achieved with any other product. Coast Modern, or Como, is something that we really implement well at our firm, and it's a style that harkens back to kind of the beginning modernists and their integration with nature. And not just nature of expansive green space, but of what is existing. Sometimes that does mean an urban environment of what your neighbors, what their views are, and how do you respect that. So this house is an example of all the lines are reflections of views from neighbors and setbacks from environmental setbacks and a bunch of other contributing factors, while providing the clients with the largest and most expansive views of the outside that they can then bring into their home. Bringing the outside in is a really integral part of Coast Modern design, and the aluminum products with its durability allows us to bring that essence from the inside out without having to change the materiality. It is really an effort in what I have dubbed aggressive passivity. So we really do want to focus on expansive views and bringing nature in and out, but with that, having airflow cool the house and possibly trobe walls to warm it. Having a system on the exterior to have a really high insulation value, similar to what you offer as in the hitch system, with that thermal break, high-performing windows. So those passive sustainable elements is something that is integral to making these large expanses of glass and large overhangs possible. Designing a project that has not just one but multiple sustainability standards is really important. Knowing that we can combine the products as well to deliver that amazing end product. Specifically, thinking of the hitch system, like thermally broken large cladding systems are something that we really need in the future of building. And we can then take that with a few other, the recyclability of aluminum and the just environmentally sensitive products that you guys offer. It's been really wonderful to bring those from the outside cladding system all the way to the inside in a decorative fashion. It's been really wonderful to work with. I think your main office that I designed quite a while ago is one of those projects where we have some great products on the outside. We're showcasing a lot of innovative pieces at that point. And then we've been able to bring them inside and showcase the amazing features that they have. I'm really proud of this building and excited for it to be a beacon for sustainable office design as well, and manufacturing for years to come. It definitely extends to the interior. A lot of construction waste comes from renovations and unnecessary and non-recyclable products. So by creating a space that can be versatile in its simplistic manner, as well as beautiful in that you would think twice before demoing it, is very important. The product itself, if it needs to be deconstructed, can be recycled. That is just a mandatory way of construction these days, so it's very, very important to have sustainable products. Longevity is one of the main focuses we strive to design for, having a space that can be used immediately for its initial purpose, but then planned for its secondary and tertiary purposes is something that creates a sustainable environment. You don't have to be continually renovating. And then if you do, the product itself is recyclable, so there is that sustainability component. One of our favorite interior design products with Longboard has been this amazing, what we deemed the slug. It's an amazing geometric shape that has multiple purposes. So we have a fire suppression system hidden in there. We have an acoustic backing to relieve a lot of the reverberation in this concrete space, as well as it just adds an intrigue from the place of entry, coming all the way up through the atrium and then into the massive boardroom, which overlooks the beautiful landscape beyond. So it's something that it really shows the versatility that we can create these cool elements out of this simple product and solve a lot of solutions. It wasn't simple, but we got there. That's part of the design process.